Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brothers and sisters. Coming to you today with a little bit of Steely Dan is I, Cousin DJ. Now, I know Martin done told you all about me that I'm going to be kind of here doing some podcasts, so we're going to get right into it in just a minute. But I got to groove to a little bit of Larry Carlton here for just a second, because I got to get into this to get into my groove, if you understand exactly where I be coming from here. Oh, I love me some Larry Carlton now. Love me some Larry Carlton. Anyway, so... again, I am Cousin DJ. I know Martin done told you all about me, and he and I are cousins. We both come from the same place. We back from the hollows of eastern Kentucky. But as you could probably no doubt tell from my slight difference in accent, I be spending an awful lot of time down in New Orleans, brothers and sisters. And I tell you what, it kind of flat down there, and it smell like shrimp. But I do like it, because the weather's warmer, and the women down there got all their teeth. There ain't no doubt about what's going to happen when you go out on a date and she starts smiling. You know what to expect. And that's a little bit different to where Martin and I hail from originally. You know, there's a little bit of doubt about what's going to happen until they open up their mouth and you see what's going on. Anyway, I am DJ, and I'm here to talk to you today about several things. And one of the things that comes up an awful lot is things that are colorful expressions of speech, shall we say. And I know that my cousin Martin, he talk to you all the time. He write all this stuff on the Substack. Now, he ain't no talker like I am. He write. But he write all this stuff all the time, and I read his stuff, and I kind of like it. I got to be a tres that's a half mile long to figure out all the hell stuff he's saying. But nonetheless, I am appreciative of the fact that he has very colorful ways of talking about people. And he talk about chuckleheads and knuckleheads and pumpkin heads and things like that an awful lot. And I say, Martin, what's wrong with you? Why ain't you telling people what all that stuff mean? They don't know what that means. Back where we come from, there's a very great distinction between those gradations of individual. So I want to get into that a little bit right now. Now, at the bottom end of this, you got knucklehead, okay? And there's a standard knucklehead. And a very good example of a standard knucklehead is Cousin Martin. Now, I like him. He's a good guy. And he do an awful lot of good stuff. But I ain't liking this stuff where I got to get me a Tracesaurus that got about 15,498 pages in it to keep up with what he's saying. That knucklehead stuff right there, I don't like that at all. But nonetheless, he has many other appealing qualities. So you just got this one little thing. That kind of put him into the knucklehead category right there. Let's just put it that way. Well, above that, you got your severe knucklehead. Now, severe knucklehead, that's quite a different character, quite a different cat. We put it that way, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm telling you what. There's a perfect example right now of a severe knucklehead that's making the national news headlines, and that is this doggone Islamic socialist communist, Zohan Mandami, that just got elected mayor in New York City. What's wrong with you? You live in New York. What the hell are you thinking when you elect that knucklehead? Here's a guy going out talking about we're going to give away free bus rides, we're going to have city-run grocery stores and stuff like that. He's trying to turn New York City into Oakland, California, except worse. Because the people up there ain't got no tans like they got in Oakland. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be cold, and everybody going to be white, and everybody going to be poor. Well, there you go. They voted for him. This is democracy. But that's what you call a severe knucklehead. Now, above that, you starting to get into some pretty serious sort of personal issues that accompany these next two gradations. So above that, above severe knucklehead, you got your chucklehead. Now, a chucklehead, that is a fairly severe issue that you're going to have to deal with. You a chucklehead, you got some issues right there. Let me tell you what now, ladies and gentlemen. You got some severe issues. I got an example of a chucklehead right up here. And it says Sam Brinton, who used to be in charge of the nation's nuclear waste. Now, this is a man that don't know which bathroom to use, don't know that you ain't supposed to run around in a dress like that if you're a dude. That is a chucklehead. Right there. You look up chucklehead in the dictionary, and it's Sam Brinton waving at you. Now, I tell you what. You get the Sam Brintons of the world coming around here, and they don't know which restroom to use. We're going to help you out around here. I'm going to help out any brother or sister that got any kind of confusion about which restroom to use. Because you come out here, and you look like Sam Brinton, and you go girls' restroom, this is how I'm going to show you which way you need to go. Yeah, this is how I point to your proper restroom, Sam Brinton. But, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you this, we got one level go above that. And that level right here. This is what you call a pumpkin head. Now, in this particular case, I think you can discern the attribution quite directly just from looking at this photo, because this individual has a head that looks just like a pumpkin. It even about the same color as a pumpkin. And you know what? You turn off the lights, it grow in the dark because it got radon on the inside instead of gray matter. That there is a pumpkin head. Now, while we're on the topic of current events and talking about people, to be fair, we do a little bit of trash talking here. That's okay. That's okay. What's wrong with you? You don't like no trash talk. Trash talk, the best thing in the world. Anyway, we talking about this Sydney Sweeney, and she got this ad out for American Eagle where she talk about blue jeans. And, this girl, she looked good in a set of blue jeans and a white T-shirt. I don't know about you, but I definitely think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So this Sydney Sweeney, she does this ad for American Eagle, and she say, this is what I wear every day anyway. I got my blue jeans, I got my white T-shirt, this kind of my uniform, and she want to go out and tell the world about blue jeans. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Blue jeans is American as apple pie, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't see nothing wrong with this beautiful young woman going out and using her assets to encourage people to buy blue jeans. Denim. It's good stuff. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But nonetheless, there are some people who beg to differ, and they disagree with this. So there are a number of individuals out there. They're out there talking bad about Sydney Sweeney, saying, she got some kind of a complex, superiority complex, talking about her jeans better than everybody else's jeans. Now, I don't know whether they spell it G-E-N-E-S or G-E-A-N-S. I don't even know if they know what they're talking about. There's a difference there, but nonetheless, I think she wins both ways. And the other thing about this that I think is significant is the fact that many of these individuals doing all this complaining, they don't make jeans in their sizes anyway. You got to buy 2 pairs of jeans and sew them together to get some of her critics a set of denim that will fit their fat butts. They got the blue hair, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. You forget about it. It's a mess. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's just a mess. That's just an absolute mess. Now, right here, we do have a class of individuals that are kind of critical about that meet none of that criteria. They're not particularly big and fat. And they're kind of pleasant to look at. We got these women around here that are members of a certain religious persuasion, and they kind of hard on the Sydney Sweeneys of the world, but I think it has something to do with jealousy. These women, they all live in Salt Lake City, and they all got blonde hair and blue eyes. And I'll tell you what, Salt Lake City, ladies and gentlemen, is the capital of 2 things that you would not expect. One of them is plastic surgery, which you would suspect if you spent very much time there. The other is pornography. You look it up. That's the 2 capitals. Salt Lake City got more of that stuff than anybody else. And them women, they kind of hard on Sydney Sweeney, but I think it has something to do with jealousy. I think that may be the most of it. Well, that's about all I got for you this week. I just want to come out and introduce myself a little bit. We're going to be having these conversations from time to time. We talk about all kinds of things. And it's my great pleasure to join with you, my brothers and sisters. And all I'm going to say is this. Some of y'all are going to get on the comments and stuff. You're going to say, hey, DJ, what are you talking about? Why are you making fun of people that ain't got no teeth? Why are you making fun of women that got a lot of plastic surgery and go to church and stuff like that? And I say, what's wrong with you? I make fun of anything I want to. You can make fun of anything you want to, too. Make fun of Martin. Go right in the column. Tell him what a knucklehead he is. That's the thing you ought to do. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at him. He's the one that hosts this site. I just using it. Anyway, I got to get out of here because I think he's coming home. He might not be too happy if he see me. So I'll be seeing you next week. Ciao.